Hey everyone, it's Courtney from How Courtney Sees It. Welcome back to my channel. I'm here today to do a book tag. This is the Dilemma of a Book Nerd tag. So this tag was created by Lindsay from Lindsay's Little Library. I'll have her link down below, and we're just gonna jump into this. So I am kind of in a weird mood today, and we got some pretty bad news today, so I'm just trying to... I have a lot of sass in my soul today, and I need to put it somewhere productive, so I'll tag video. Okay, so number one, the first dilemma is book storage. How do you keep and store your books? So I feel that y'all don't need to know because I already filmed like 3 videos about it, so I will just link those. I did like a new bookshelf tour, and then I filmed a separating my read versus unread also. So, and then I do in my office here in front of me, I do have a TBR cart over in that corner over there, and basically I keep any of the books I plan to read during the month on that cart, and then basically anything that I finish reading that I'm gonna want to remember to talk about in my wrap up, I put on that cart too. So it's kind of a modge podge of chaos over in that corner, but it's a purple cart and we really like it, so we're just gonna pretend that it's not chaotic. Number two, dilemma number 2 is for tracking. How do you keep track of what you've read and which books you own? So, since I'm a responsible adult, I have a shelf on my Goodreads that is literally labeled my shelf, and any books that I buy, I just transport over to that, whether it's in my want to read list on Goodreads or wherever. I move them into that list so I can keep track of what I own. I have never bought a duplicate book before in my life, but that's because I don't have a huge library, so like I know what I have, and I don't get ARCs or anything really that are physical copies anyway, so I never like have to guess like, do I have this? Like, no, you don't. So that's not super bad. And then like I was just saying, how I keep track of what I read versus what I haven't read is I literally have my bookshelves split in 2. So the read side is on one side and the unread is on the other side. And then I do put any library books on that unread shelf, and any new books that I haven't hauled yet for my channel on that shelf too. So yes, like I said, those videos are linked in the description box if you want to watch them, or in whatever side the cards are. Number 3, it says borrowing. Do you lend out your books? So this is an interesting question. And the answer is yes, but with a little asterisk. Like, I will lend you my book if I think that you were gonna care for it the way that I would care for it. So if I've ever told you I'd lend you a book and then I just forgot, it's because I don't trust you. So like my best friend, her and I are pretty good. We swap books back and forth a lot. I actually have like an entire box full of books from her that she just like handed over to me the other day and was like, here you go. It's the entire Outlander series and the entire Monica McCarty series, that it's all like romance books. And she was just like, here, borrow these. And I was like, holy crap, these are gonna take forever to read. And she's like, it's okay, I trust you. And I was like, but yeah, so I do lend them out, but not to many people. Like my sister, my best friend, my partner's siblings sometimes when they ask nice. That's about it. Number 4, dilemma number 4 is buying your books. How do you buy and acquire your books? So I feel like, first of all, Barnes & Noble, duh. And then Amazon Prime sometimes when I can't find stuff at Barnes & Noble and I'm too impatient to wait. And then Book Depository or like thrift books, stuff like that. That is another place that I would buy in them. I just kind of, wherever I find them, I buy them. And then there are no small bookstores where I live right now, besides Barnes & Noble, which is obviously not a small bookstore, it's a giant chain store. And I've had kind of like varying experiences with Barnes & Noble. Like I went the other day to buy something that's a very popular book and they should have definitely had a copy of, and they didn't. And I was like, okay. But anyway, yeah. So dilemma number 5, Comments. How do you respond to the how do you read so much comments or others that are similar? And I feel like this is everyone's answer for this question, but audiobooks and ebooks. Because I read ebooks all the time from my phone, especially from like Libby and Hoopla and stuff, because you can be sitting in the bathroom at work, hiding from your responsibilities and reading your ebook. And for audiobooks, I love audiobooks because, first of all, I can do something besides listen to Broadway songs in my headphones, but I can listen to them when I clean and when I cook and when I'm grocery shopping and basically anytime. I've actually been listening to them over top of like when I'm working out, depending on the book, obviously, but I've been listening to, like, doing it when I work out and stuff. Basically, I just, all the time, audiobooks. I have read a shit ton of physical books right now this month, but that is because I haven't been working. So I know it will change. Number 6, the next book. How do you pick your, the next dilemma number 6 is how do you pick your next book? And basically for me, I've been doing readathons like almost every month, except next month I'm not. I'm doing like my own kind of TBR. And so I've been kind of just reading for the prompts, but I'm definitely a mood reader. Like I'll just pick up whatever and read it. And if I don't feel like it, or if I don't want to read like off my Kindle or whatever, I'll pick something else. I don't know. That's why. Number 7 is travel, and it says, how do you pick which books to travel with? And honestly, this is just a side story. So when I was 18, I graduated from high school and my grandmother took all of us on a trip, like all of the grandkids. We got to pick where we went, so I wanted to go to Hawaii with her because my grandma is a sprightly woman and she's still very sprightly, but she is very active and I knew it'd be super, super fun and we would like explore and like do all this stuff, and it was honestly the best time ever. So getting back to what I'm saying, I took about 12 books with me to Hawaii because it's a 12-hour flight and one way. And on the way there, it was a longer time than that because we had a layover in LA and a layover in Chicago that we had to like, we went from Michigan to Chicago and we had to wait 2 hours, and then we got to go from Chicago to LA and then we waited 4 hours and then we went to from LA to Hawaii. So I had a lot of time to read. So that was definitely heavy. My carry-on was definitely too heavy. It was like hard to carry heavy, and now that I have a Kindle, I definitely would have just taken all ebooks, but I didn't have that at the time, and luckily for me, we went to the post office and we ended up mailing a bunch of my books home when I finished reading them, with a bunch of stuff for like my parents and my sister and my family and friends and stuff. We like mailed back a bunch of stuff we bought. It was just like, now when we go places, I'll bring like one real book, like one physical book, and I'll bring just a bunch of ebooks. Like I'll go on Kindle Unlimited or like on Amazon, I'll download a bunch of free books, and that's the way to go. That's the way to go. Okay, number 8 is annotate. And it's, do you write or mark your books up in any way? And that's a hard no. Recently I realized that my future husband is a page corner. He's a dog ear. He's a monster. But it was only with like school books, like with textbooks, so I guess I can forgive that. But I told him if he ever did that to one of my books, we would be divorced. Because I would be so pissed. That's dramatic. But no, I don't really mark my books at all. Sometimes I put like sticky notes in them or that kind of stuff, but I don't write in my books because I don't trust my handwriting to be nice and neat, and that's basically why. And then number 9 is for new or backlist. That's a dilemma, and it says, do you prefer new or backlist books? And for me, it's honestly, it's in between. I like it all. I'm a big fan of backlisted books because I had a really long period of time where I wasn't really reading in college. It was like 4 straight years where I just like didn't do anything but school and work, and it was just very, first of all, boring. I went to a lot of hockey games and a lot of football games, and I hung out with my friends a lot, and we watched a lot of TV because we were like doing homework and like watching TV, and like it was synopsis, like a lot of all-night situations that we just worked on projects through the night, which is unhealthy. Don't do that. But I don't really prefer one over the other. I can get backlisted books much more easily from the library or from like my apps and stuff like that. So I guess I would say backlisted books, but anytime new releases do come out, I'm always interested in them, and I do always stare at them like at Meijer and Target, like I want them, but I know I'm poor, so I always usually wait to get them until reviews come out. And then number 10 is the dilemma of sequels, and it says, do you read books as they're released or wait till they're all out? And I feel like I sort of just touched on that. But, so, for me, I have a patience problem, and I'll admit to it. So like, I know it's a problem, I've accepted it, I'm moving forward with it, but I'm very impatient. So in college, my first year of college, I started reading this book series, which I'm honestly not sure what it's called, but it's by an author. It's about, she goes back in time, and it's like, it's a love story, it's a whole thing. Anyway, so I started reading it, and I got through the first book, and I got through the second book, and then it's a huge cliffhanger. And so I go to my friend that gave the books to me, that let me borrow them, and I'm like, okay, well, where's the third one? Like, give it to me. And she's like, oh, she hasn't written it yet. And I was like, you said what now? And it was like 2 years in between. 2 years. Which, like, I get it, because I'm writing, the book I'm writing right now is taking me a long, long time, but I'm just like, that was just cruel. To leave that big of a cliffhanger with 2 years in between? What? So since then, I was scarred. So since then, I really haven't read any books that were series without having at least 3 of them out. Like, I just started reading The Cruel Prince, so when I'm filming this. So you'll be able to tell how old this video is whenever I publish it. Maybe I shouldn't tell you that. But like, The Queen of Nothing came out this year, or last year, I guess, in 2019. So not that I need the series to be complete, but I definitely need a couple books to read. Otherwise, I feel like I would forget what happened, and then I'd have to reread it and re-get it from the library. And at that point, like, everyone would be wanting to reread. So then you have to like fight with everybody, or you have to go out and buy it, and it's a whole thing. So yeah, that is everything for this tag. I feel like this was rambly, and I feel like I have still a lot of angst, and my chest is very tight, and I feel like this did not help my anxiety, but I feel a little bit better. I am going to go read now, I think. Okay, so that is everything for this book tag. If you do it. If you if you do this book tag, definitely let me know in the comments. And like I said, I will link Lindsay, the originator, in the description box, so you guys can check out her channel and the video. I just have been filming tag videos because I feel like they're fun, and honestly, what's the harm? I don't know. So with that, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you want to hang out with me anywhere else on the internet, it's all down below in the description box. You can also hit that subscribe button and see my face more often while you're down there. And hang out with me some more. I hope you guys are having a great day, week, weekend, whenever you're watching this, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye, everybody.